Well, Dan Trachtenberg is back in the Predator franchise, and he's given us a new flavor called Predator Badlands, and we're going to review it. Let's go. Predator Badlands stars Ellie Fanning, Demetrius Schuster Kamalatangi, and is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new 2025 review. I'm super excited. I'm a massive fan of the Predator franchise, even though not all of them land. This was another really solid entry, and I'm looking forward to diving into this spoiler-free review. First off, I was a massive fan of Prey. I thought it was excellent, one of the better Predator movies. And you know what? Those first two movies, I think, are solid as hell. And then that's when we start getting into the weeds of the lesser Predator movies. Then you get into like the AVP movies and all that. So it's definitely not a perfect franchise, and I wasn't sure what to get with Badlands. But yeah, pleasantly surprised. And I'll even say this right now, guys. And I know I'm front loading. You probably will click off this video because a lot of people these days, they watch a review, they get what they need, and then they move on. And that's fine with me. I don't care, okay? I'm just telling you right now, this is one of the best movies of the freaking year. But if you want to hear why, stick around. I swear I didn't plan that. Oh my God. So first off, let's give you a quick plot synopsis. Demetrius Schuster K, that's what I'm going to say because his last name is very long and I don't want to butcher it, okay? But he plays Deck. He is kind of a predator in training. He has a brother, he's got a father. Right at the beginning of this movie, he is trying to prove himself, not only to his father and his brother, but also to himself. Make no mistake, this is a PG-13 Predator movie, and this is from Disney, of course, who also did Prey, by the way, but this is still a hard-edged Predator movie, and more importantly, these Predators, they definitely stick to a code. Deck is no different. He just happens to be younger. So this is sort of a fish out of water because he's given this task to go capture this creature called, I think I remember it being called the Khaleesi. That's not right because that's from Game of Thrones. Starts with a K, okay? I remember that, all right? And I'm too lazy to look it up. Let's just say it's just this gigantic, unbeatable creature, and there's a quality about it not only being gigantic, but I won't spoil, that makes it unbeatable, okay? And so he's got to go on this impossible task, and if he doesn't bring the thing home, then he is pretty much dead, okay? That's the code of the Predator. You have to be the fiercest, mightiest warrior imaginable. It's almost like unachievable, right? So he ends up going to this planet to look for that creature, and he runs into Thea, played by Ellie Fanning. This is where it gets interesting because Thea is a synthetic from the alien world, right? You see Weyland-Yutani all over the place in this one. We're not into any new territory here. This Weyland-Yutani has been explored in the Predator franchise before. This is like, let's go ahead and marry the two worlds without introducing the alien, or do they? I'm not going to spoil anything, okay? But even if they did, they don't have to because this movie is freaking awesome. I saw this in IMAX. I'm telling you guys right now, go see this on the biggest screen imaginable. I actually sat closer than usual, and I think that benefited because I felt more immersed into the world. The sound design was incredible. I heard sounds all over me. I felt like I was on that planet. Every step that the Predator took on the grass, you could feel it. And the world building in this movie is awesome because the planet has unique characteristics. Just to give you like a hint of what it's got, there's like this area that looks like a field, but all the grass is like razors. It's called razor glass. So if you go in there, you're going to be completely screwed. Let's just say this. You do not want to be stuck on this planet. This is like the most dangerous freaking planet imaginable. Okay, and then the Predator has to deal with all these elements. And the reason they do that is because the Predator himself is established as this kind of unbeatable creature. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't beat him in the first movie, okay? So what kind of planet do you put him on? An unsurvivable planet, and that's what they do. Deck has a severe chip on his shoulder, and I think you'll buy that because of, you know, the nature of the Predator, the code that they follow. But also, remember in the trailer, the first thing people made fun of was the look of the Predator, including me. I thought the Predator looked kind of ridiculous. But luckily, this movie, and I don't know if they kind of updated his CGI, they might have not, but context is everything. And I think this movie does such a great job of building Deck as a character that you kind of forget how he looks, and really his look fits his character. It doesn't bother you at all. You don't need him to look like the Predator in the first movie. And by the way, every Predator in every movie pretty much has a different look, except maybe the first two movies. But he still has the mandibles, you know? Thank you, James Cameron. He's still got that. And he's still fierce, and he's still really angry, and you would not want to be stuck in a room with him, I guarantee you. Even though this is technically a Disney movie, this is not a Disney Predator. Because this movie is violent as hell. Yes, it's PG-13, but you won't find any human blood in this movie. It's all creature violence. And there's tons of it. There's freaking beheadings. There's impalements. I mean, just blood all over the place. It just happens to be creature blood, and so they can get away with it. So comparing this violence-wise to other Predator movies, it's just as violent, if not more violent than some of them. Now let's talk about Thea, Ellie Fanning. I think this movie, the nature of it and how fun it is, because it's just filled with action. I think Thea is such a fun character because she's the comic relief of the movie, but it doesn't feel forced at all. That just happens to be her character. Ironically, the most synthetic creature in this movie happens to be filled with the most humanity. Whereas the Predator himself, you know, an actual organic creature, he's pretty much one note. You know, he's just a mean son of a bitch, right? Because of his code. And that's kind of the ironic thing about this movie. And so there's definitely an arc here, because you do get this sort of family dynamic, because he runs into a synthetic, and he runs into this fun creature in the movie. And they sort of need each other throughout the movie, because they're on the most deadly planet imaginable. And this synthetic, she doesn't just have like human strength. No, she is definitely a well-enhanced type of synthetic. She does kick major ass, okay? Going into the villain part of the movie, I dug what they were doing, and I can't really talk about it because it is very spoilerific, and you'll know exactly what I mean when you see the movie, okay? But I really dug what they did with the villain of this movie. I think it is a formidable foe and a lot of fun, actually. I'll just say this, there is definitely a connection to Thea that she is struggling with once she is introduced to the villain. Guys, this movie is so damn fun. There's so much action all the way through. I think it's perfectly paced. It has some nice character beats along the way. And guys, I don't think you need every Predator movie to be like 1987's Predator. You know, I think you're not going to beat that movie. I think it's of its time for a reason. And I have no problem with new Predator adventures set in the modern day. And and anytime I say modern day, I kind of like wince a little bit, because that phrase really triggers people for some reason. And I understand the reason. But when I say modern day, I just mean today, okay? I don't mean the problems of some movies that we have in the modern day, all right? If this movie came out 10 years ago, we wouldn't be having this discussion, all right? And I get it, that discussion is to be had because of problems that have happened in the movie industry. Sure. But I'm just saying, this is a quality movie, all right? It's fantastic. It might be the second best Predator movie, all right? That's a knee-jerk reaction. I just saw the movie last night, and my mind might change. I will probably do a Predator ranking. If you guys would want me to include the Alien franchise in that ranking, let me know. But right now I'm leaning on just doing the Predators and maybe including the AVPs as well, okay? And I did an Alien ranking when I reviewed Romulus, all right? So you can go check that one out if you want. Screw it, I'm giving it Trapped on an Island. It is that great, and I think that's a perfect rating given that he's trapped on a planet, right? But yeah, this had no problems whatsoever. The audience was absolutely loving it, and that's what I love about seeing a movie in the theater. And just, there's a feeling of the audience around you. You can tell if they're not jiving with the movie or if they are. And they were literally hanging on to every moment of this movie. It's that fun. People love Predator. They just do, okay? So let me know what you guys think of Predator, Badlands. And Badlands, by the way, one of the most underrated freaking late 80s bands. And you can't even get their first album now because of reasons I'm not even going to go into. But wow, what an album, Badlands. Jesus, check it out if you haven't, if you're into 80s rock. Also, subscribe to Drumdums Xtra, the second channel. Come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do FIFA on Fridays. Follow me, Drumdums, on my social support me on Patreon. Become a channel member. Buy me coffee. And you guys, thank you so much for watching every day. And Drumdum out.